from Amber Bloom again. Here's number 2, second day of 30. And today we're going to talk about the string of pearls. This one is near and dear to my heart because I've killed many of these things. Big old pots and little pots like these. And I've killed them all. I've killed them all. But I finally got down the care and now I'm seeing a lot of growth and a lot of success. This pot that I got over here, when I bought it about 1.5 years ago, it had 0 hanging, like overflowing pearls at all. So none of this, all of this is new growth. Check this out. Well, not new growth, but it's new to me. Look at this thing. I grew this. Can you, I don't know if I'm even in, I grew this. This is crazy. This grew in my care, which makes me just feel like I got this down. I finally have figured this out. And the most important thing that I have to tell you is all about the watering. Because watering and light is everything that you need to know about each plant. So for this particular plant, I have this in my west-facing window, and I make sure that I have it hanging on a curtain rod, which I don't love how that looks, but that's what this plant needs, so that's what I do for right now. But I make sure that I have enough sun coming to the top of this plant right here. Because what happened with some of my other plants was that I cared a lot about these strings of pearls, the strings down here, but I didn't have any of the light on the top. And that just made this all die out, and slowly it trailed down and down and down until there was no more pearl left, and it was all just shriveled and brown and sad. And that was it. That was the end of that plant, and the next plant, and the next plant. So once I got down the light, the next thing was to figure out the watering. The watering care is much more easy than I thought it would be. I thought I would have to always use my water probe and figure out exactly when I needed to water it and be very specific about each thing, but what I've learned is that when I pick up this pot and it's really light, then I know that it's time to water. I let this thing dry out completely. There is not an ounce of water left in it. When I water it, I will water it several times through with my watering can, and I'll make sure to get in each of these little pockets of dirt. I'll get it all completely wet, and I'll let the water drain through until I see it running through the bottom. Or the other way is that I'll plug the sink and I'll fill the sink with water until it gets about halfway down, and then I put the whole pot right into the sink so that it can actually take the water in through the bottom of the holes, and it brings up as much water as it needs until this is totally saturated. And I found that it gets well watered either way I do it. It depends on how much time I have. Sometimes I don't want to sit there and water and wait for all of the water to come through. So it's a little bit faster for me to just bottom water it and let it soak up all that it needs. But either way, I found that just letting it completely dry out is the best way to get these guys to grow. So these are some newer propagations that I have from this plant. So all that you need to do to propagate, it's very simple. I'll show you. You can take one of these long strands that you've taken years to grow, but it's okay. And what I like to do is to find like one of these that has some of these roots that are already coming. Do you see this baby root coming out here? I like to propagate right above that. You don't have to, but I find that it's easier for them to grow quickly if you do. Take a clean pair of shears and I cut it right off like this. My next step is to, these vines are really sticky. So if you don't have one of these, you'll find out once you buy it. They're really sticky. They stick to your hair, they stick to each other, they stick everywhere. So that's interesting. I'll take off the 1 or 2 bottom pearls closest to where I cut the plant, and then I will just put it into a vase of water, and I wait until these roots grow about 1 inch or 1.5 inches. And then when I have that, then I plant them into some soil. Now the key is that once you transplant them into soil, they are no longer sitting in water every second like they are when they're here. So you want to make sure that you continuously keep that soil moist for the first week or 2. And then after you see that these buds up here have produced some new growth, you know that they're ready for you to back off on the watering and water it just as much as you would your other string of pearls plants. I was so intimidated by them because as soon as they started to get dried out on the top, it was really hard to save them. And so I would just kind of panic about them and just make sure that I was really on top of their watering all the time. as soon as I started to leave it alone, it was much more happy and it gave me a lot more growth. So one thing that I have done also is I've taken one of these strands and I have, I don't want to take the longest one, but one of these other ones, I have taken it and I've wound it around the top of the soil, which is another way to just have a fuller pot. So I'll take this and put it throughout the top of the plant. And each of those little pearls will have roots that will grow down into the dirt. And pretty soon, this plant will then have more and more growth on the top. And then these will also trail down and vine again. So they're really very easy. The succulent is really just wanting to be let alone as much as it possibly can. So I know that's hard when you have a plant that you are really concerned about and really worried about. These are one of the most easy string of plants. So I really recommend giving it one more try if you've given up on the string of pearls. Maybe just back off on the care a little bit. I know that it's really intimidating when you see all of the beautiful pictures on Instagram and you think that you've killed one already, how are you going to do it again? But just try again, see if you can find a string of pearls that you can just try your hand at one more time. I think that you'll have great success. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. Thanks again for coming along for day number 2 on this 30-day journey for me. Please subscribe, please like, please leave a comment. Also, if you have ideas for videos that you want me to cover in the next 28 days, because 30 minus 2 is 28, comment down below. I've really been enjoying sharing my plant journey with you, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Okay, plant happy. The pearls of a string of pearls.